London in the year 1300 was a city very different from the one we know today. There were no cars, no glass towers, no neon lights, only narrow timber streets, church spires, river boats, and the quiet rhythm of medieval life. By this time, London was already one of the largest cities in Europe. Surrounded by thick defensive walls, the entire city could be walked from end to end in less than an hour. Most buildings were made of timber, their upper floors leaning outwards until they nearly touched above the street. The heart of London was the River Thames. Long before bridges carried traffic and trains, the river was filled with ferries, cargo boats, and fishermen. On the water's edge stood simple wooden wharves, bustling with merchants unloading wool, grain, and wine from the continent. Not far away rose the great silhouette of the Tower of London. In 1300, it was already a formidable fortress, its stone walls, moat, and central white tower dominating the eastern gate of the city. It watched the river closely, guarding London and the Crown with a presence that could not be ignored. Further inside the walls, London's greatest church stood tall. Old St. Paul's Cathedral, not the dome we know today, but a vast Gothic building with a towering wooden spire. It was one of the largest churches in medieval Europe, its bells echoing through the city from dawn until dusk. Blacksmiths hammered iron over open fires. Merchants shouted their prices in crowded markets. And around every corner stood a parish church, because religion shaped almost every part of medieval life. The city was divided into guilds, groups of craftsmen who controlled their trades. There were guilds for carpenters, butchers, fishmongers, weavers, and masons. Their halls lined the narrow streets, and their rules set the standards of work across the city. One of the busiest places was Cheapside Market, a lively street packed with stalls selling fruit, cloth, pottery, and spices. It was the closest thing medieval London had to a high street, and it remained crowded from sunrise to sunset. There was no running water. People drew from public wells or bought water from carriers who walked the streets with wooden buckets. Fires were common, crime was a constant worry, and disease moved quickly through crowded houses. But for its people, this was simply life, noisy, busy, uncertain, yet full of opportunity. And though the modern skyline has replaced almost every timber house, the shape of medieval London still lingers in street names, the curve of the Thames, and the ancient stones hidden beneath the city. This was London long before glass and steel, a living, crowded, medieval town built on trade, faith, and the river that defined it. And that, my friend, is the British way.